The three most common types of contract are single contracts, individual service contracts and master services arrangements, often called MSAs for short. The simplest is the single contract. As the name suggests, buyer and supplier enter into one single central contract. If the buyer is part of a group, then other group companies may be able to benefit from the contract, but they have no direct contractual relationship with the supplier. The second type of contracting arrangement is an individual services contract. Individual contracts are set up with all the entities, for example subsidiaries, that are able to benefit from the agreement. Where there are multiple suppliers working together to deliver a service, individual service contracts are established between each supplier and each client. So there might be a scenario where there are many buyers, for example subsidiaries, contracting to many suppliers, a so-called many-to-many scenario. Or there might be one buyer to many suppliers, say where there is a consortium of suppliers working together. Or one supplier to many buyers, where the buyer is a group of associated companies, a one-to-many scenario. The third type of contracting approach is a master services arrangement. As I mentioned earlier, they are often called MSAs or perhaps framework arrangements. This is an arrangement between a buyer and one or more suppliers that sets out the terms for future work. It sets out most of the terms between the parties, which usually include payment terms, delivery requirements, intellectual property rights, warranties, liabilities, indemnities and governance, amongst other terms. When a buyer requires specific services, they and the supplier or suppliers can agree the specific requirements without having to renegotiate the terms in the MSA. Often there is only the need for a purchase order that defines the specific deliverables.